What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hop LA Events on Tap,
episode 96,
covering all the awesome things happening in LA beer this week. And lately, we've been drinking a lot of hazy IPAs, fruited sours, a lot of different stuff. But in this episode, I really just wanted to drink a beer that tastes like beer. Gary, what are we drinking today?
All right, we're drinking a special beer from Enegren Brewing out in Moorpark. This is a brewery celebrating their 8-year anniversary just this past weekend, and they specialize in German-style lagers. And so for their anniversary, they put out an Imperial Pilsner, and in this heat, it's gonna taste really fucking delicious.
Yep.
So without going too deep into it, let's crack it open. Should I slow pour it?
Ooh, just a little bit too much over the rim, but you know what? Nicely done.
Let's do it. Let's give them a whirl.
Crowbars up.
Oh man, that is good. All right, nice and bitter with a touch of sweetness there. Imperial Pilsner, so a little bit higher ABV than your typical Pils, sitting at 7.2%. And also hopped with a little bit of Heel Melon that gives it a tiny bit of fruitiness that balances out the spicy bitterness that this beer typically would have.
And it's got like a nice little pininess to it. I think that's kind of coupled with the bitterness, but you're right, like there's that little bit of sweetness, like a little fruity sweetness that kind of helps to kind of balance it all out. So for Imperial Pils, I mean, I feel like that's kind of what they're going for.
It's clean, it's crisp, it's delicious.
Great beer for a day like today.
Yeah, cheers to Enegren, holding it down. Brewing beers that are not part of the trendy styles that people are seeking out these days, but keeping it classic, keeping it traditional, and doing a very, very good job at the same time. So if you haven't checked out their tap room in Moorpark, make a day of it, head out there, drink some German beer.
And what's even better out there at the tap room in Moorpark is that they just opened their outdoor beer garden, sharing that with Lucas Cellars Wines, as well as Copenhagen Sausage, which is opening up very soon over there. They're gonna be doing pizzas, pretzels, sausages. So overall, it's gonna be like a one-stop shop if you wanna drink some good beer and eat some good food and wash it down with a little bit of wine too. So yeah, they're doing it really, really well out in Moorpark.
Yeah, welcome addition to that side of Ventura County and not that far of a drive for those of us here in LA.
All right, time to move into the beer release radar for this week. As always, a lot of beer coming out that we want to let you guys know about. Head over to hopla.com/subscribe in order to get the full beer release radar delivered to your inbox once a week. But for today, there's a very special beer that we want to highlight. Gary, what is it?
This one's called Milk the Apricot from Long Beach Beer Lab. So this is the apricot fruited version of their core farmhouse ale, Milk the Mustache. And if you've ever had any of the sour beers coming out of Long Beach Beer Lab, you know you're gonna wanna get this one. Super, super tart, refreshing, and huge, huge hits of apricot coming right off of that. These guys are on a roll lately. Just announced that they're opening up a kind of spirits lab right next door to their main tap room, and also they've been undergoing construction on a second tap room for the past year or so, also in Long Beach. So definitely check out Long Beach Beer Lab. I think these bottles are only available at the tap room. Hit it up, grab some bottles, drink some beer, eat some sourdough bread, which they specialize in as well.
Absolutely.
And also they have beer that has sourdough bread in it. So while you're there, do it up, but Milk the Apricot on your radar this week.
All right, let's get into the events for this week. We're gonna kick it off Tuesday, August 6th, 6 p.m. It's another Brewers and Beer session at the Slice and Pint in El Segundo. This time with Eagle Rock Brewery, running through 3 of their delicious beers paired with some pizza. I think you cannot go wrong with beers and pizza, especially at the ESBC Slice and Pint. So go check that out. $10 tickets, buy those up right now.
Then on Wednesday, the 7th, Bottle and Pint in Newbury Park is hosting Beechwood for a big tap takeover. All the Beechwood beers you know and love, a bunch of blendery stuff, some IPAs, stouts, some collabs, 15 taps being taken over for this event. You really don't see that in this area of LA Ventura County border. Yeah, Bottle and Pint always brings in the good stuff, and they've got you covered with Beechwood on Wednesday.
All right, next up, Saturday, August 10th at 12 p.m. It's the Small Town Feel Summer Beer Fest happening at Burnin' Daylight Brewing in Lomita. This is one of the newer spots down there, and for this one, they're putting on a bunch of beers, over 20 plus guest breweries, and it's just gonna be a big blowout, a big showcase for Burnin' Daylight. I highly recommend you guys pick up tickets, $35 GA tickets. It's gonna get you a bunch of beer, so jump on that ASAP. Go check out a new brewery and go have a good time.
Yeah, the beer list on this one is legit. All right, then on Sunday, starting at 2 p.m., it is another edition of the Buds and Beer Share. For those of you who like to partake in some of the cannabis, the recreational cannabis, and pair that up with beer, you know, more power to you. There's an event for you now. This one's in Koreatown at an undisclosed location. You find out once you buy your tickets. But they do get some very, very good beer at these events. In partnership with Valley Beverage Company, Mac's hometown beverage shop here.
Shout out to the homies at Valley Bevco.
So we don't know the full beer list being poured, but we do know Other Half is going to be there, Hudson Valley, and some other stuff that you really don't see in LA. So if you're into the bud, if you're into the beer, you're going to want to check this out.
All right, so that does it for this week's events. Headed to the previews. And the event we want to highlight for the preview section this week is happening Saturday, August 24th, 5 p.m. out in Simi Valley. This is called Simi's Endless Summer Beer Fest, and we put it on here because you just don't get to see a collection of really good breweries in Simi Valley.
Simi's getting some love this weekend.
Yeah.
Huh?
So $35 tickets gonna get you access to a bunch of breweries, including Casa Agria, Tarantula Hill, brand new spot out in TO, McLeod,
Pocock,
Enegren.
If you live in Simi and you're sick of driving to LA for the beer events, you know, you got one in your backyard this time. $35 a ticket. Boom.
So that does it for this episode of Events on Tap. We are clearly melting out here, so time to crack open another lager
I need some AC.
and get some AC.
Woo!
Drink indie.
Drink local.